Now, British Prime Minister Theresa May has won Parliament's backing to hold early elections on the 8th of June. She says the vote will strengthen her hand in divorce talks with the EU and, of course, help heal divisions in Britain. May surprised allies and opponents on Tuesday when she announced her plan to bring forward an election that was not due until 2020. She maintained she needs to avoid a clash of priorities in the sensitive final stages of the two-year Brexit talks. May, of course, has won the support of 522 lawmakers in the 650-seat parliament. Now, a victory gives May a powerful mandate extending until 2022, long enough to cover the Brexit negotiations, plus a possible transition period into new trading arrangements with the EU. Now, the prospect has strengthened the pound going forward. But let's get an update on what's happening. Richard Bestick now joins us in London. Richard, as always, welcome to the show. Now, I've heard some people say Prime Minister May's move was clever, but not exactly wise. Now, of course, now that she's won a Parliament backing, what can we expect between now and June?
Absolutely, Uche. Is this Theresa May's strategic masterstroke, or is it a reckless gamble? Well, since she secured that commanding majority in Parliament, the electorate will be able to tell us the answer to that on June the 8th. Going forward, of course, we have to see Parliament being dissolved. That will happen on May 3rd, and then we're in full time to the official campaigning for this election. Unofficially, well, it's already started. The Prime Minister in the northern England town of Bolton making an electioneering campaign. Give me a mandate, she said to her supporters there, and blaming roundly all the opposition parties, including the Scottish Nationalists, the official Labour opposition, and the Liberal Democrats for making this early election necessary, because they were taking away from her authority negotiating Brexit. She wants a mandate that'll, as you were saying, not conflict with the what would have been the 2020 election date and the end of the 2 years of negotiation. But here we are, 3 years on from a general election, 1 year, 2 years on from a general election, 1 year on from the referendum, and the British are going back to the polls once again.
Now, Richard, interestingly, we have heard that May has said she will not take part in any TV leaders' debates. Is May running scared right now, and certainly should she be worried?
Well, that's certainly the view of the opposition parties, that she should be joining these debates. It's something that the incumbent Prime Minister is always reluctant to do. David Cameron, during his time before he left office, always refused, but then ended up accepting some kind of compromise. What they don't want to do is be giving the stature of office to the opposition groups. The reality is that if she doesn't go ahead with something, ITV, one of the main channels here, has already said that they will empty chair her. In other words, they'll go ahead without the Prime Minister, and in her place will be an empty chair. We'll see what she says. Certainly she is coming under fire and being told by the opposition she's frit, to use a word Margaret Thatcher once used in Parliament.
Now, Richard, in terms of the mood right now, we saw former Prime Minister Tony Blair basically warning voters. He said they must be prepared to vote across party lines and, of course, be aware of the risks of a significant Conservative majority. Now, give us a sense of the mood right now in the country, given, of course, the motives behind May's move.
Well, Tony Blair, I mean, is important because he was Prime Minister for a decade and won 3 general elections. He's now become an elder statesman, if you like, although his brand has been marred by the invasion of Iraq. And he is now the leader, a cheerleader for the European Union. And effectively what he's saying there is vote for anyone that says they will hold the Tories, the party of government, to account on Brexit, and better still actually vote for a retraction of Brexit, an end to Brexit. So he's campaigning to see this election, this snap election in Britain, being used as a means of upending Brexit. It'll be intriguing to see whether he matches up to some of the rumours that are going around, and one of those is that the former Labour leader, that former Labour Prime Minister, will actually be out on the knocker campaigning with the Liberal Democrats, who say they will, if they win enough votes, upend Brexit and rewrite the whole programme. Uche.
Well, many thanks, Richard, for those insights. Of course, Richard Bestick joining us there in London.